Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what may in front of us, at the Celtic Cross spread as always, and I also pulled the 4 agreements and wisdom oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have Scorpio. And for you guys, Scorpio is your 10th house of career and social status. Astrologically speaking, when we get to around September 22nd, I believe, we'll actually have Mars move into Scorpio. So that could actually lend some energy to that area of life for you guys. All right, we have Jupiter. And Jupiter is currently in Cancer, which is your 6th house of work, health, and daily routines. So yeah, there could definitely be some shifts around career and your day-to-day routines for sure. And well, there you go, we have 6. So 6th house energy, 10th house energy, definitely looks like this could be more of a financial type of reading for you guys this month, but we'll talk about whatever comes up as we go through the main spread as well. All right, so in the main situation position, we have the Devil reversed, and challenging that, we have the 2 of Swords. So I feel like this is saying with the Devil in reverse, it looks like you've been released from something, maybe something that you had an obsessive desire for at one point. So for some of you, that could have been a romantic partnership, right? But maybe not even that. Maybe it was more of a financial type of goal that you might have had, or maybe even some kind of an addiction as well, given that for you guys, Capricorn is 12th house energy. But yeah, it looks like you're being released from that, whatever the case may be. And the challenge is you're still trying to intellectualize what you were meant to learn from that situation, though. So it's like, on the one hand, you are released from it, but you're still at least trying to learn from the situation. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Knight of Pentacles, so Virgo energy here. So yeah, it could just be saying that as we move through Virgo season, you might receive an offer around something. For some of you, it might be an investment opportunity. For others of you, of course, given that we saw 6th and 10th house energy, which are nice as well, it could also be something around career. For some of you, it might be you extending the offer as well. But yeah, it looks like it's something that maybe might almost feel overdue in a way, but it does feel welcome. In the past position, we have the 10 of Cups. So this is Pisces energy here. So this could just be saying that in the past you might have had things going well for you when it came to your finances, right? Maybe you were in a cycle of growth and expansion and feeling very comfortable around that area of life as well. In the present position, we have the Magician. So yeah, so this is definitely a good card to see, as far as I feel like this is saying that ultimately, whatever the situation is around, it looks like you have the power to turn the situation to your favor. So like I said, for a lot of you, you might realize that you were released from a situation that you needed to be released from. But again, it's not that, you're stuck in it. It's just more of you're, again, trying to learn from it to avoid repeating such a thing in the future. All right, in the near future position, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So yeah, so again, given all the Pentacle energy, and let's just say with the Devil in reverse, let's just say you were in a cycle of just constant overspending, right? Just a hypothetical. And now you're finally getting a rain on that, right? But you're still dealing with the after effects of that situation. And that's just one example, but of course, this could just be saying that whatever the situation was around that you were released from, yeah, it's not like you just instantly you're back to normal, right? So it could just be saying that, okay, you're released from it, but you're still slowly recovering from the situation. In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Queen of Cups. So this is Cancerian energy here. And yeah, it could just be saying that you might have some bottled up emotions around the situation. Maybe feel like you can't come forward and express what you're feeling just yet. So that could be part of what's going on there as well. So maybe there is a part of you that does want to communicate around what the situation was, but you just feel like the timing's not right because you really need to sit with your own thoughts and then come forward and express what you're feeling. It's interesting. It took so many tries for that card to focus too, but yeah, there we go. In the environment position, we have the King of Swords. So this is actually the court card for your sign. So to see this in the environment could just be saying that maybe for some of you that is what's going on there, right? Maybe there is a part of you that does have something that you want to express on a more emotional level, but you might feel like, okay, well, no one really knows that side of me, right? So like, so people are expecting me to show up in this way all the time, so maybe I'll bottle this part of me up, right? So maybe this is even something that you're learning about yourself, right? Maybe there was a part of yourself that you've been holding back, and now you're releasing that. So that could be more of a positive in that regard. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Eight of Cups. So yeah, so interesting there because given what I was saying, that maybe for some of you, you just feel like you can't be emotionally vulnerable in an environment that you're in, right? So maybe for some of you, you're like hoping to leave those emotions behind, right? So it's like, you know what? Whatever, rather than me even express what I'm feeling, I'm just hopefully just detach from them completely, right? So maybe that's where you're at, right? So there's a part of you that went through something and maybe there was a certain heaviness to it, but you just feel like you're not comfortable fully expressing what you were feeling around the situation. So there's a part of you that would rather just leave it behind, but you might be struggling to do so. All right. In the outcome position, we have the Four of Pentacles. So more Capricorn energy here. So yeah, so ultimately this says that you still won't fully let go of the situation, whatever the case may be. Now, if this is around finances, and like I said, so for some of you, I mentioned that, oh, maybe this devil cycle that you're being released from was maybe you were just being a little bit too heavily influenced by consumerism, right? So maybe you're just spending, 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 and now, okay, now the bills are due, and now you're having to rein that in a little bit. So for some of you, it could be as simple as that. But for others of you, I feel like there is something, again, like I said, I feel like there's something you were released from, but you're not fully quite ready to let it go yet. And again, because I feel like you're thinking that there's still something useful to be gained from it, so even if it's not keeping keeping it around in your everyday, just more of learning from the situation overall. All right. And bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, some more Capricorn energy there. So yeah, I feel like same message that we were talking about, more Capricorn energy here. So yeah, this seems like this is mostly something that's in your head right now. And it could even be, so for example, if you went through a situation that was intense, right? Maybe even thinking of, okay, how can I turn it to my favor, right? So you might even be thinking of how can I monetize it, for example, right? Oh, can I sell my story, right? If you have like, can I write a book about what I went through, something like that? You could just be trying to think of, okay, what do I do with this, right? Because I feel like you're convincing yourself that, okay, it wasn't a bad situation for the sake of a bad situation, right? So I feel like you're just trying to think about how can you leverage it in your favor, not in a manipulative way, but just you're like, okay, went through it, nothing I can do about that. How can I leverage this to my benefit moving forward? All right. From the Four Agreements deck, we have don't take anything personally, and it says everyone lives in their own dream. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. Well, interesting message there. I will say I definitely felt that way dealing with some people during the recent Mercury retrograde we had, so maybe you were feeling that as well. From the Wisdom Oracle, we have mending. There's the artwork, and the number is 52. We'll see what this has to say. All right. Central meanings says forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. The Oracle's message. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal: the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. See, interesting message there, right? Because, especially the set yourself free part, because, like I said, it looks like you have been freed from something. But again, like I said, I feel like you're trying to figure out what you're meant to learn from the situation before you fully put it behind you. The relationship message says you've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you are to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything you do, even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come of forgiveness and an honest redress. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, especially if there was some kind of relationship issues that you went through in a more romantic sense. I mean, quite frankly, we did just wrap up a Mercury retrograde in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships, so things definitely could have gone through a bit of upheaval during that period. All right, the prosperity message says, everyone makes mistakes, especially when you want something very badly. You may come to realize that in chasing after a pretty shiny thing, you lost sight of long-term sustainable prosperity. Sometimes you make choices that look good at first, but ultimately lead to loss or failure. It's time to forgive yourself and others. Don't blame anyone else. You get to start again, wiser and more mature. The journey to true abundance can be bumpy. Make amends to anyone who may have hurt along the way, especially yourself. Forgive those who may have taken advantage of you. Let go and learn from this. You are now that much closer to achieving the kind of prosperity that really fulfills you. Nothing is ever lost or wasted when you view it from this perspective. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, because like I said, with all of these pentacle energies, for some of you this definitely could be more of a financial situation that you guys were going through. But hopefully that resonates for you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.